So what, we on day 3 or is it day 4 in South Korea?
Welcome to this video and the conclusion part of this mini-series in South Korea.
The foggy start of the morning.
We've been travelling this lovely country now for 3 days and this is our final day. If you've not watched any of the previous video, it's fine, you can still watch this video from here without watching the other 3 days, but it may be worth recapping on how we got to this point, and I'll put a link back to the beginning of this series now if you'd like to watch it from the start. Although, if you want to watch this video from here, that is absolutely fine as well, and thank you very much for joining us. One thing you may or may not be aware of is that Google Maps is pretty rubbish here. It doesn't work very well at all since the government requires any mapping data to be stored on local servers for national security purposes. So you're going to want to download either Kakao Map or Naver Map. I'd recommend Naver Map as that's got an English version. There's high-speed internet all across this wonderful country, and with the average download speed at 171 megabits per second, you can be reassured you'll be able to stream all your favourite content without any buffering. Did you know Koreans are known to be the biggest drinkers in Asia? We didn't know that until coming here, and one thing that we were unable to show you, unfortunately, was the nightlife, simply because of you've seen we've been to a lot of places, covered many miles, and we just didn't get the chance. Although I think if we were to come back here for longer, we'd definitely sample some of the nightlife, and we may do that for you in the future. But for now, we'll take you along with us to have a look around this place, which is a place I mentioned earlier, and I'll put the text on the screen rather than trying to pronounce it again. And here it had one of those funky signs where you could see how far it was to all the other places in the world, and I love these kind of things and find them really interesting. A little bit like when you're on a plane, I can spend time looking at the maps and analysing all the different places and how long it would take you to get there. And for me to get back to England from here, it's 8,871 kilometres away, and on a plane that'd take around 12 hours. They recommend a good way to learn a culture is by learning the language, and as you may have seen our feeble attempts, we still had a lot to learn on that front. On the whole, we found if you attempt to say hello or thank you, the people we experienced responded in a kind way, so don't be shy and give it a try by trying to speak a few Korean words. If you try and speak English, it's likely that many Koreans might understand you, but most probably they won't. So it won't hurt trying to learn a few Korean words, and if all else fails, you've always got apps like Google Translate you can use to get understood. If you're watching this video on South Korea and our other travel videos, it demonstrates to me that you're an open-minded person, and to travel to all these different places, that really helps by being willing to learn from new experiences. These are places most people can't come every day, and I'm aware that people have the commitments in life, but if you've seen our other content, we try to show you also how travelling can be done on a budget. I've done other videos on broader topics around that, and I'll do more in the future, but for now I'll open your mind a little bit more by showing you inside a sex shop in South Korea.
So we're now in Hongdae. As you can see, it's a lovely day here in Korea. Just out doing a little bit of shopping.
Like I mentioned, we are open-minded and we don't discriminate on this channel, so for you ladies or even men, if you're on the lookout for a new double-ended dildo or a honey rose suction, whatever that's supposed to do, you'll be looking to pay between 80,000 and 100,000 won, and I'll convert that onto the screen into the different currencies. I've got no reference to go off, and I'm not an avid user of these type of items or places.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure like most things nowadays, it's much cheaper and discreet buying this sort of stuff off the internet. Although I know this is frowned upon in some religions and cultures, and I neither disagree or agree. Everybody's entitled to their opinions the same way you're entitled to yours, and if you want to leave us your opinion or say hello in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. As the title suggests, this is a conclusion of our days in South Korea, as well as showing you a few more places and things you can do here. We'll take you shortly for some lunch with us, and if you stick around, I'll give you a breakdown of costs for this trip when we take our flight back to Bangkok a little bit later. Coming up on the screen you'll see one of Korea's most popular lagers, which is called Terra. This one's made using barley produced in a region of Australia called the Golden Triangle. It's a crisp pale lager with an alcohol by volume of 4.6%. Be careful with privacy here, as with anywhere you're travelling. In many places tourists like myself take pictures and videos, and there's nothing wrong with that. Although be aware, in Korea, more than anywhere I've experienced, Korean people are very sensitive about their privacy. As most people are, and taking somebody's picture without their permission could actually get you into serious trouble here. And it's not a nice thing to do anyway. I always try to be respectful and courteous when taking photos and filming, and I do my best when editing these videos as well to try not to show people's faces, although sometimes it just can't be avoided. Korean people seem to be obsessed and a bit crazy about the beauty products, with many Korean men and women using a 10-step skincare routine to keep their skin looking young and fresh.
Beautiful.
I'm not promoting it, and as you can see, I'm no Tom Cruise. I accept how I look. However, each to their own, and if you're inclined to use beauty services like plastic surgeons, they are considered normal and budget friendly. So if you wanted a holiday and was looking to get that nip and tuck, then getting it done in South Korea could be for you. One thing to be mindful of in South Korea, and I'd say the same for the majority of Asian countries we visited, is to be mindful of your manners and have some etiquette. And what I mean by that is basically just try to be a good person and be considerate of other people's dignity. It's very easy to become self-obsessed nowadays with that device we have called a mobile phone that can supply us with instant gratifications. But other people are important too, so don't think you're better than others because you come from a wealthier country or have more money than them. Some of the nicest people I've met when travelling don't have many possessions at all and aren't ruled by their ego either, so try to be courteous and others will appreciate you more too, and you'll have a much better time along the way. We're just stopping here for a bite to eat, and that leads us on to Korean food. If you've seen our other videos in this series, then you'll have seen how popular the Korean barbecues are. This dish was chicken in a sweet sauce with rice and soup, and of course a good portion of kimchi. I'll put the name of it on the screen if I can remember it. They mainly use metal chopsticks here rather than wooden ones, which can be a bit hard to handle, so don't be afraid to ask for a fork and spoon. What I've loved about travelling here to South Korea was not only the new places we saw, but ultimately the people we came with and the people we met along the way. I mentioned on day one when coming here that I came with a Thai travel company, and being the only English person on the trip, I have to say I wasn't sure what to expect or even if I'd like it, to be honest, but my views have certainly changed, and they say travel broadens the mind, and that's certainly the case because the people on this trip were great. We're going into this duty-free shop now to have a look for some souvenirs for our family and taste some of the lovely food samples. What are you eating?
This one,
Been roasted pie and stuff. We've got some ginseng jelly. Ginseng face mask.
nice.
That's now gave away the surprise of the presents I bought for my family if they're watching this. Or maybe I should keep those face masks for myself. As we get back onto the bus for sadly the last time on this trip, we made our way back to the main airport, Incheon International, for our flight back to Bangkok.
Hello.
The tour company we went with was called We Vacation, and as I've mentioned, it's a Thai-based company. The services were excellent, and if you're wanting to go to Korea for the first time, I'd recommend using a tour company because it takes away a lot of the hard work, and it has guides that can help you understand things better. Although from visiting there now, I would feel okay travelling back there solo, as I know a little bit more about what to expect. Flights from Incheon International Airport fly to every corner of the globe, and it's a very clean and impressive airport with lots of places to relax and go for shopping, as well as grab some food like we're going to go for now. I had a change of culture and opted for a burrito and a chicken wrap. And Da, Kwan and Fang stuck with a traditional Korean by getting this spicy soup with rice, olives and kimchi. I mentioned earlier I was going to provide you with a cost of this trip, and I'll do that for you now and give you the prices in Korean won, Great British pounds and US dollars, and that way it'll make it easier for you if you want to convert that into your home country's currencies. So let's have a look. I've broke the costs down into a few different categories. As you can see, the price of the tour, which was obviously the highest cost, the spender money we took, and the transport cost, which was for our taxi to and from the airport in Bangkok. And the total cost for this trip, remembering that this was for 2 people, worked out at 1,942,236 won, or in Great British pounds it was £1,163.50, or US dollars, which was $1,449.50. Just one last thing, which I've never done before, but I'd like to ask if you have got any value from this video. We would love it if you could support us by maybe buying us a coffee, and you can do that by clicking below, but don't worry, we totally understand if you can't spare anything.
Welcome back to Savannah Pom.
We hope you have a fantastic day, and we shall see you on the next video. Kamsahamnida for watching.